In today's world, many people look to the media and the news for everything. The weather, the drama, what's going on in different countries. One of the main focuses about 2 years ago was Mexico. The media put out things saying that they were drug traffickers or just bad people in general. The people were made to seem like savages. Rumors of what life was like there was awful. The media said it was mostly gangs and drugs, and so many people judged others who were even Hispanic Americans. Although all of these rumors went around, that's not always the case. How are we the ones to judge a place we have not actually been to? How are we the ones to judge a race of people we do not know? My trip to Mexico is meant to change the perspectives of different countries and show that the media cannot always be trusted. We must experience things for ourselves to truly see how the world is. This is my story. I step off the plane and I smell the sweet air as it goes through my nose. It fills my lungs and I can feel the peace and serenity with a huge grin spreads across my face. I was here in Puebla, Mexico. Puebla, Mexico has been anything I could think about for the past 3 months. My mom, who's Bonnie McKenzie, had multiple sclerosis and she went to Puebla, Mexico the year before to get a treatment to stop her progression. After countless of fundraisers to raise $50,000, she had enough to go and get the treatment done. I was accompanying her on her 1-year follow-up to Puebla. Imagine stepping off a plane and imagining the worst. I didn't know what to expect. Was there going to be gangs on the streets, people scavenging for food? Was my life in danger? When I stepped off the plane, it was the complete opposite. I saw the beautiful colors of the city in Puebla, the streets roaring with life, people talking in their language all around me, a mother, a father, and a son walking down the street, almost like the United States. My mind was blown. I walked out of the airport, and me and my mom were greeted by our driver. He had tan skin and dark hair and greeted us with a huge smile. Hola, he said, and smiled. I walked back and stepped into my car. As we were off, I looked out the window and saw all of the different signs painted on all of the streets. Taco Pozzoli, one said. Alto, said another. I watched as the different colors of the sign zoomed past my vision. We stopped abruptly at a stop sign, and I looked and saw a man walking on the streets. What did he have? He had roses? Stopping at every car to try and sell them. This was foreign to me. I looked closer and noticed 3 more men trying to sell things in their cars. The streets were very busy, cars honking, people yelling. We finally pulled into the treatment center my mom was staying at, and she had stayed at once before. On the outside, it looked like nothing more than a dark gray building. What did I get myself into? The driver held the door open for us, and I braced myself as I walked inside. To my amazement, I saw a huge open room with white walls, a glass table in the middle with a beautiful bouquet of flowers, dark blue couches on either side. I looked at my left and saw a glass elevator with a patient riding up, beautiful paintings filled with bright yellow and orange colors on my right, and people with huge smiles running to my mom to embrace her with one of the biggest hugs I had ever seen. It was truly amazing. It looked like something that you would see in a magazine or a catalog. Not soon after, my mom and I traveled to the food center. There, it was the same. Beautiful smells of spices and meats filled my nose, and I knew that the food was fresh and cooked to perfection. The next day, we traveled to the city. There was something I was most excited about. There were shops filled with people. We had a tour guide who guided us on all of our endeavors. We went to the market first. There, the streets were painted with flowers that were bright red and yellow. The city was alive. There were people with stands filled with different knickknacks, jewelry, gems, and art. We care mostly about family here, my tour guide said as I examined one of the art pieces that caught my eye. We care mostly about living in the moment. We do not care about the busy life here. I stopped and examined the piece I was looking at. It was a poem about Mexico. It said, "He raised his glass, then sipped his beer. Gringos to all raise a cheer. To Mexico hear them cry, oh, today is good old Cinco de Mayo. To freedom for old Mexico, their 4th of July, so we've been told. The day they earned their independence, the day they won for their descendants. Senor, I think your book has cracks. I think you need to check your facts. Our independence is in the fall. About us, you seem to have built a wall. Buenos dias, senor, he would say, and happy Battle of Puebla Day. Oh my, who could ever tell? Happy Cinco de Mayo to you as well." That's when I stopped and examined what he said in my brain. I felt true serenity and peace walking through those streets of Mexico. Even though it seemed busy, there was a pure happiness to it. After a few days, we went to Cholula and saw the Great Pyramid that was there. It was truly a life-changing experience. When I walked up the stone stairs, I could almost feel the history and why the people here loved family so much. The history sunk down to your heart, and you couldn't help but smile. The top of the pyramid is what really grabbed my attention. When you looked out, you saw everything, the green trees in the distance, the bright, vibrant colors of the city. It felt like I was the only one there eloped in the happiness that the city brought to the people. The church in the pyramid was tall, white, castle-like structure. The images engraved in the wall were of God. There were people going up to the statue of God, kneeling down to pray. My mom actually has a few words of her own that she loved about Puebla, Mexico. She said, Puebla was rooted in history, the deep cultural roots. Talking to the locals there, it was like the New York City of Mexico, being a melting pot for many different races and cultures that settled there. Pueblo de los Angeles is the city of angels. Everyone there looks out for their fellow neighbor in person. You don't know if someone is rich or poor. It is truly a special place. At the end of my trip, I left with a sense of knowing. The media is not always correct. The people there were absolutely beautiful, and you must learn things for yourself to truly know how people and cultures really are. Because if you don't experience things for yourself, then what is the point of life at all? And thank you.